It's a Flashback Friday. Our co-host today has no idea this is happening. A couple years ago, 2019, last time Aaron Farina was on the broadcast with us. And today, here we are in 2021, inside a new location, but here we are, here again. Joe Hutzler and Aaron Farina with you tonight for women's soccer against Piedmont. Aaron, it's good to have you back in the booth.
It's good to be back, Joe.
Hope you're glad to be here. Hope you didn't get too embarrassed.
It was a surprise.
Tonight we've got the first home opener, first game at home, I should say, for Lynchburg. You got a chance to talk to the staff. Let's take from that conversation.
I think the biggest takeaway that I took from that conversation was we have a really young team into the and having only played one game so far, what we know is we have a lot of potential and we struggle with putting the ball in frame and finishing, but if we can start to finish, then they'll be a really dangerous team.
Certainly saw that against Emory and Henry over the weekend, but it was a win, so that's all that really matters. Let's go ahead and talk about the Piedmont Lions and their head coach coming into his, I believe it's fourth season. Yeah, that's right. Timmy McCormick is in the middle of the huddle talking to his team right now. 2018 USA South champions for Piedmont College, and they've already had 8 games on their schedule. Lynchburg in their second game of 2021, and they are led by Dr. Todd Olson, and he's in his 26th season. Hard to believe that, or maybe for some it is easy to believe. 10-time ODAC Coach of the Year, and looking for another winning season with this program here tonight. These two teams have met before. We'll talk more about that series in just a few moments. But first, let's tell you who is going to be on the field this evening. In goal for the Lions of Piedmont College, who come into this contest with a record of 3-5. It will be Miranda McNally out of Atlanta, Georgia. You also will have Gabby Hayes, Cassie Kirk, Julia Gibb, along with Alyssa Lauder, Madison Hatfield, Sydney Krause, Madison Gullarelli, Abby Ryan, Caitlin Smith, and Abby Judge. And for the Hornets, in net for them will be Laura Mason, the goalkeeper from Stafford, Virginia, making her second start on the year. She'll also be out there with Victoria Newman, Taylor Smith, Sophie Wells, Alex Allen, Emily Santana, Emma Hyatt, and Amanda Wigboldy, Alyssa D'Amato, Camille Watts, and Abby Little. The Hornets are playing a 3-5-2 formation today, Aaron, and that's mainly to shore up the center part of the field. When you hear that initially, do you consider that to be a strength or a weakness? Are they trying to clog up the middle because of the inexperience for this team?
I don't think so. I think that they're playing a 1 holding mid and 2 attacking mids. So they have 2 attacking mids that are really dangerous on the offense, and they have a pretty strong holding mid that can serve as an extra defender when needed. All 3 of those midfielders are all really good on the attack, and they're really strong defenders as well. I think it's going to allow them to be able to switch the ball back and forth across fields and really maintain possession.
We shall see, because we are ready to rock and roll. Friday Night Lights at Schellenberger Field. Lynchburg and Piedmont, a non-conference women's soccer tilt in the Division III category. The official in the middle awaiting, and now we are good to go. The Lions will begin with possession. We'll have to get used to, or I guess I will have to get used to, some fresh faces. That's not one of them. Emily Santana along with Taylor Smith. You'll hear Wigboldy as well in the middle of the field for Lynchburg tonight. But there'll be some others that we're not used to seeing. And for me, at a different level, we are pretty much eye level, at least with Wigboldy. She's pretty tall. With our new setup across the track, or excuse me, across the field on the track. And that is in preparation for a new video board that's coming next month. And to run that video board, we need a new press box. So hopefully next week that will start. And while we await that, we'll be over here calling the games for you until that time. You gotta get medium shots. Well, now I can't see. Turn the light off inside the press box, and now I'm struggling to see the roster, but we'll make do because that glare is too bad. This is Abby Little. Now Taylor Smith. Contact made with Abby Judge, and Wigboldy will prance through the middle of the field. Good ball, just a little bit off target. And then it'll be scooped up by Miranda McNally. Now, Aaron, you're one of the lucky ones, if you will. You did not have your season impacted by COVID-19. You were able to finish out your final fall semester. Good news is that these ladies are still able to play, but if you are just catching up with the times, there is no NCAA tournament for the fall sports, and certainly had a really odd fall of just practicing against one another, scrimmaging against no one but yourselves. Can they gain anything from that? Can any of that extra practice in the fall actually help them now that they're in the spring?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that during the fall they had a lot of time to build some team chemistry, especially with a bunch of really new players coming in. They have the opportunity to build a lot of chemistry and not have to play kids right off the bat who have never played in a college game before. And yet they still haven't. Like, this is a lot of these players' first, or one of their first games, but they've still had a lot of training backed up behind them instead of just the week and a half of preseason that they usually get.
And no scrimmages against other teams either. That's very rare for any sport. So last weekend when they played Emory and Henry, that was the very first game that they took to the field for against another opponent. Meanwhile, the Lions threatening inside the 18, and a stop out of play from Alex Allen will give the Lions their first corner kick of the night. And this is a team that has a lot already. Through 8 games, they have 65 corner kicks to their credit. And those kicks have led to a few goals. A team that scores just over 1.5 per game. Ball's in play and off the side of the net. It was kicked in by Caitlin Smith, junior out of Alpharetta, Georgia. There's Laura Mason, who has been patiently waiting her turn to get the start in the net. Very athletic, mobile goalkeeper. Last season, or last school year, was a 2-sport athlete. Played women's golf as well as soccer. And now a good opportunity for the Hornets. 3-on-2. Eventually the defense will catch up, but rushing through now is Victoria Newman, and it's eventually kicked away around the 18. But good pressure nonetheless. I guess the big thing today for people who are just watching the game over the weekend or looking at live stats is, as you kind of alluded to in the pregame conversation, capitalizing on opportunities. They went over 17 shots before they scored against the Wasps, who on paper are an inferior team. Today they're going to have to do their best to score when they have the chance, because even if Piedmont on paper isn't as good to some people, they've had more experience. They played 8 games. Santana connects with Wells. Now it's near side on the foot of Little. Taylor Smith plays it back to Santana's got a wide open Wigboldy. Does not make the long pass, and instead gives it back to the sure-footed Emma Hyatt. That was Alyssa D'Amato. This is a shot that's high and wide from Wigboldy. Amanda Wigboldy, a transfer 2 seasons ago. Well, I guess it's one. It just feels like 2 seasons, but it really was 1 season ago, the fall of 2019. McNally sends it and goes off Santana. So it'd be a throw in for the Lions. Good work by that midfield group. Gorelli pressured, and that will go back to Piedmont. Two programs that have met just twice in their history, 2018, 2019. Lynchburg winners in both of those contests as they try to rush through the middle, looking for a good chance. Wigboldy takes it away. Nice job of getting that one off the foot of Piedmont. And you can sense Lynchburg starting to feel good about their game plan. The Lions would love to pick up a victory today, not only because they have lost their previous matches, two previous matches against Lynchburg, but both of them were in the NCAA tournament. So the Hornets have ended the Lions' seasons, the last two. Once here in 2018 and then down in Demorest, Georgia in 2019. Right idea, just no one there for the Hornets. Is that a situation where, since you only have two forwards rushing up, they just may not have that extra person on the outside where they need it, where they want them to be, because they're playing back towards the middle?
I don't think so. I think that because they're also playing two outside midfielders as well, I think that it's just a little bit of miscommunication on who that ball is intended for, and then miscommunication on who's going for that as well, and just putting pressure on the defense, even if it's not the perfect ball or not the ball you're looking for.
Good steal a moment ago by Lauder, and the Lions not able to get it past midfield. Neither team have put a shot on goal. Hornets have been credited with one shot total, and the Lions have a corner kick to their credit. Nice heel kick towards the middle at the 18. D'Amato not there first, though. Stepping in front of that was Gorelli. Santana. Now Little. Great move. Leaves it there for Smith. Crossing it inside. Once again, the Lions defense up to the task. That was Sidney Krause stepping in front. This coming past us is Gorelli, whose pass is intercepted by the two-time most valuable player in Costa Rica, in case you didn't know. 2 summers ago, and the team went down south. 2 games. They played more than 2, but in 2 of those, Emily was given the coach's decision, the opposing coach's decision, as the best player. She's pretty ferocious in the middle of the field.
She is. She's a really good defender, and she has a really good one touch, and she does a really good job of making sure that they're able to maintain possession in the middle and also switching balls out to either end line.
Just over 10 minutes gone by in the first half. Home opener for Lynchburg. 9th game already for the Lions. Nice ball on the outside from Wigboldy. Connecting with Newman. Great cut back. Now looking for Wigboldy again. And just a bit off on the touch. Got to be pleased if you are Lynchburg and being able to run from the midfield and get a play set up, even though it doesn't result in a shot on goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Lynchburg, they've already had 2 shots on goal. Or
2 shots total.
2 shots total. Mm-hmm. And, both were actually really good opportunities. I think the first one just need to get over the ball a little bit more and put that on frame. And then the second one, just trying to finesse a little too much and just a little bit wide of the bar. Tell camera 3 that was good call. Yeah, I took his replay.
Hyatt plays it back to Allen. Allen and Wells, the newbies on the back line for Lynchburg. Great history, great legacy of defensive players at University of Lynchburg. Of course, you think of recent years, Natalie Deacon, Emily Maxwell. Nice job, Taylor Smith, taking that ball away, and just for good measure, a little bit of a rugby move, using those big shoulders. I mentioned Natalie Deacon. She's one of 3 former Lynchburg players on the coaching staff here at University of Lynchburg. Jessica Hinkle still here after graduating in 2013. Natalie Deacon, and most recently, Caitlin Mertens, who graduated in 2019, is on the staff. So a lot of excellence in practice every day for these girls to emulate. And I don't know if you got this out of your conversation with some of the staff members, Aaron, but we come into this season not knowing a whole lot about the makeup of this team because we don't recognize a lot of the names as we've had in the past. We kind of knew what to expect. Do you think it's a good thing for competition within practice that you don't have the veterans that have all the experience coming back and kind of gives anybody a chance to improve?
I think that there are positives and negatives to it. I think you have, on the one hand, you have a lot of fresh faces coming in, and they're bringing a lot of different things, different styles of play to the table, and a lot of talented young kids at that as well. But on the other hand, you also don't have a whole lot of that leadership and that designated culture coming back and being able to teach the younger kids, not just on the soccer side, but like what it's like to be a Lynchburg soccer player and the culture they've created for that program.
Lions make the first substitutions of the night. Kaylee King is in, as well as Katie Hemperly. So the Hornets continue to pressure this Lions defense, and now they'll get their first corner kick of the evening. And it looks like jogging over there is Camille Watts, a freshman from Dillsburg, PA. There she is. First set piece of the night for the Hornets. It's a low ball, looking for a deflection from Newman, out near the 18 and cleared away by the Lions. So neither team on their first corner kick able to muster up much of a chance. But you certainly have to give the edge to Lynchburg as far as possession and opportunity. This one stays in. So Wells splits the defense. As the rain continues to pour down here in Lynchburg, Virginia. Good opportunity in the box and out. This weekend is going to really showcase why we sometimes call this place Drenchburg. It's supposed to rain tomorrow and Sunday. Men's lacrosse out here tomorrow. We will be here as well. Women's soccer out here on Sunday against Guilford. We'll be here for that. And a big shout out to one of the gentlemen walking past us now, Director of Golf Mike Faverka, along with Director of Strength and Conditioning Ed Smith, and our Athletic Director John Waters for taking their precious time to build this structure for us. It's the first time in 6 years that I've had an enclosed space to call a game during rain, and it is wonderful. Another change for the Lions. Avery Perry, sophomore from Snellville, Georgia. Of course, Aaron, you don't ever have to worry about weather. the sport that you played in.
Yeah, after a certain point, the indoor sports, that sometimes they seem a lot more ideal, especially in these kind of conditions.
No question about it. We will certainly enjoy our time indoors tomorrow for women's basketball. Senior day for them against Washington and Lee. That's at 1 o'clock here on LHSN. Big game for them as they've locked up a top 4 seed, meaning that they will definitely host the quarterfinal round of the ODAC tournament next Saturday. Could be even higher than the 4 seed. Opportunity to be the number 1. And because of there being no neutral site games, it's a possibility Lynchburg could be having the ODAC championship on LHSN. So very excited about that opportunity, that potential opportunity for us and for them. And this is going to be another opportunity for the Hornets on the corner kick. Excellent work by the team to take that one away across midfield, and we'll see if Camille goes high or low. This time she sends it out, and a long one that's wide right. Amanda Weinhardt has joined the fray for the Lions. Junior forward from Beaufort, Georgia. It's a very high number for a forward, 98.
Yeah, usually you see that on goalkeepers.
You reserve the smallest number and the largest number for those between the cage. But I don't think there's any rule on that. You can wear whatever's available.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of how it works out
Right,
sometimes.
just how, yeah. Sophie Wells dancing her way into the offensive third. Santana gets involved with Hemperly. Santana all over her. And if Hemperly forced to give it away, now tough spot for Lauder, but she gets it away. Lynchburg's going to take control on the far side. Newman. Cassie Kirk has the assignment of guarding Victoria Newman. Here is Kirk to Hemperly. Good turn. And now the Lions looking for their second long possession in their offensive half. And that ball just too far, too strong for Weinhardt. Misplayed by Smith, and each team will make some changes to the lineup now. Looks like the Lions will bring in Jade Edwards, and Lynchburg will bring in Madison Myers for the first time. Sophomore from Cross Junction, Virginia, close to my hometown area. She was a colonel in high school, and I won't hold that against her. She's here now. That's what matters. Allen just a bit too much air on that pass. And so the Lions will continue to pressure now. Good work through the middle. Edwards gets involved right away off the bench, and now having that ball taken away by Santana. Ten on 10. Olsen and Wigboldy, good matchup. Smith looking for that lead to Newman, finds her. Newman cuts inside. Victoria Newman eventually meets a roadblock. And then Smith not able to keep up with the quick feet of Hemperly. Hemperly on the run, saying, just go, I'll get the ball to you. Look at the wheels from Kaylee King. Chasing it down. And much to the disappointment of Piedmont, it's going to go back to Lynchburg, but they are applauding the effort of Hemperly and King, as they should. Foul on Piedmont. It's a rainy and wet night, as evidenced by our lead official. Right now, 36 feels like 28. I think it was you, Aaron, and this morning I talked about hail tonight, and then I walked out here and it was crunchy on the bottom of my shoes, so we got some sleet here in Central Virginia. Winter is not done yet.
It looked like it was going to be for a little while, and we got teased with a couple really nice days outside
Yes, we did.
Earlier this week, but it looks like it's supposed to rain for at least the next week.
Well, we'll make do. We're just happy that we have athletes and athletic events to cover. There's a lot of them, and we'll be able to bring them all to you. We actually had rain play in our favor as far as a broadcast schedule tomorrow. Lynchburg softball was supposed to play at 12 and 2 tomorrow. We didn't have enough staff. We were going to have to say we're sorry, but we can't bring you the game. And then the rain came and postponed it. They have picked a date where there's nothing else going on, so we're now able to bring that action to both the Hornets fans and the Fighting Squirrels. Lynchburg has brought in a few substitutions. Lindsey Grady is out there, just try to make a play on that ball. We also have Savannah Harper on the field and Ida Swisher. Ball intended for Harper. There's a look at some of the coaching staff. Kevin Smith, Matt Newton in the middle of your screen. Matt has been on some LHSM broadcasts for some men's soccer games when he has free time. Coach Smith is Taylor Smith's father. And has probably read more books than I've ever seen with my eyes, let alone try to read them. Passionate. There is Taylor Smith, and that's poked away out of necessity by the Lions. So Myers will toss it in. Grady sends it back to Maddie. To Wick Boldy at the 18. She let it go through, and Piedmont able to clear. King trying to do it all by herself. Sorry for the pause in the action. I wanted some warm, hot tea. I got cold tea. So, Aaron, looks like we both have iced tea. I didn't order that. You did. You were smart. Like, it's going to be cold. So I'm just going to head and get something that's cold.
Yeah, I didn't want to get let down when I brought it out here. It wasn't warm anymore.
Yep, that's just what happens. Some nice, cold tea with honey.
That's already up there. That's this one. And the one over here. Yeah, it's already up there.
A little over 18 minutes remaining in the first half of play. 3 total shots in the game so far, all for the Hornets. We've spent the majority of our time looking to our right, as have you. As Lynchburg continues to get it around that 18-yard area, inside the box a few times as well, but nothing that has forced the keeper, Miranda McNally, to have to make a stop. And the same goes for Laura Mason on Lynchburg's side of things. Good takeaway for the Lions. Now King needs some help. She's got some. She just sends it to the corner. On a dead sprint is Anya Olsen. Olsen has some room by herself in the box along the end line and wisely bounces it off of Alex Allen. And the Lions will have their second corner of the half. Of course, they'll want this one to go a little bit better than the first. First one went straight into the side of the net. They waste no time getting it in. Now they'll send it deep near the 6. And the Hornets will clear it away from harm. Good communication coming from the field. No surprise, it's 14 in white, Lindsey Grady. She's worked for LHSN a few times and quickly became someone who felt comfortable speaking up and having ideas. Speaking up on the soccer field to keep her fellow Hornets engaged. As Olsen engages Myers illegally. You know, it's not exactly the same, Aaron, but I've never spent a single game on this side of the field before. And so I don't know if anybody at home can hear those behind us voicing their displeasure or their pleasure for what Lynchburg's doing, but it's a rowdy bunch on this side of the field.
It is, and now you get a little bit of a taste of what packing the track is like.
I've always seen it from afar, but and sometimes the parents, trust me, and those watching, they know, parents can get a little rambunctious as well.
Absolutely.
On the other side of the field, but usually they're drowned out by Jake Kilmer, so that's not really an issue.
Don't worry, you'll have all that back in about a month.
That's fair. That's fair. Although that press box will be enclosed as well, so not as much, but certainly look forward to that moment. Just will bring a different aesthetic to the competition venue.
You'll be able to still hear Kilmer, don't worry.
Oh, no question. No question. Kilmer could be over here, and we'd all hear him. That's just, he's passionate. Nothing wrong with that. Of course, we're talking about Jake Kilmer, longtime manager for women's soccer and men's lacrosse. So he's got a very busy spring for himself since both teams are playing at the same time. Usually that is not the case, as they want to make 2 substitutions do the Lions. And you see one on your screen. That's Leslie Randall out of Beaufort, Georgia. And we've also got, coming across, I'm trying to see the number, 23, Sarah Fisher out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. Lots of hometowns in the Peach State, as you would imagine, for a school based in GA. Lynchburg pretty spread out, but they are very cognizant of the talent that's up north in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and even some one state below in North Carolina. As you see Coach McCormick talking to one of his Lions. That's Cassie Kirk, who just stepped off the field. Kirk, a senior from Mims, Florida. I just listened to a song last night by Mims. Aaron has no idea who Mims is. And that's all right. You guys are, everyone watching, you're on YouTube. You can look it up real quick. His biggest hit was called Move. It's pretty good. See, I've gotten really good at filling dead time because of swim meets. So that's what's going on here, Aaron.
I'm sure that will train you well.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. There's 10,000 yarders. Whew.
you definitely need to find some stuff to talk about during those events.
Those are a doozy. Sophie Wells just slicing and dicing through the middle of the field. Right idea. Once again, though, a Lion's paw in the way. And each time the Hornets have pressured, Piedmont has done what they have to do to keep the ball in front. We have not seen a clean breakaway yet. We haven't even seen a ball rise up and test McNally, who only stands at 5'6", so it'd be wise to shoot high if you could. That ball was sent high, but not in play. Here's a high ball. Played in. McNally keeps it from going across the goal line. That was right at the crossbar. You could see the long straps that are holding the edges of the twine together, pulling them out, was moving. So she did touch the crossbar, but the ball did not go across. Best chance for Lynchburg so far tonight. 12 minutes to go in the first half. Lynchburg can smell blood in the water. Can they find the meat? Wigboldy sends it deep and scores from long range. How about high, but in the 90-degree corner? Amanda Wigboldy with her first of the season, and it's a beauty. Check it out again, Aaron. Just grip it and rip it, right?
Yep, absolutely. I mean, that's a really great look by Wigboldy. She takes her first touch, looks up, see what she has. Originally, I think she was looking for a teammate. She was like, "Nah, I'm just gonna rip this," and it took a great. It was a great hit. It really was.
Her patience ran out. She said, "I'm just gonna take this one. I'm tired of us trying to be technical. Let's just go deep with it." And she puts herself firmly on the highlight reel of 2021. Fourth shot of the game for the Hornets. First one on goal for either team. And again, that's Amanda Wigboldy with her first of 2021, the junior from right here in Lynchburg, Virginia. Hornets going back to work. Once again, that far side for us, left side if you're looking directly above the field, has been the main path of Lynchburg trying to go outside in. And they'll have another opportunity from the corner spot. This is the third of the half. And see if, yep, it's Taylor Smith this time. We're used to seeing Taylor. She took the majority of them in 2019. Junior out of Chesapeake, Virginia. Sets up. Good option. It's headed away by the defense. Still not out of harm's way yet. Now Santana stepping into that. Not enough mustard on it. So Edwards kicks it ahead. Too strong. Wells will take it, but touches the arm. No, actually they're going to bring it back to the foul spot. Thought maybe it touched her forearm, but there was a foul called back in the center circle. No surprise that Kaylee King was involved. And it looks like Katie Hemperly, a junior out of Texas. Line driver. Hemperly plays it outside. Good work keeping it in play by Fisher. Lions doing their best to respond here with some pressure, and no one cutting through the box to help out Jade Edwards. Aaron, I know it's tough from our angle to really see how formations are operating right now, but I mean, from what you understand, what you remember from playing the game, what, if anything, can Piedmont do to try and slow down this Lynchburg offense?
I think right now Piedmont really needs to take some opportunities and just bluntly defend better in the middle. You know, Lynchburg has had the majority of the possession in this game, and Piedmont really needs to take away some of their switching options that they've been doing in the midfield. And above all else, they just need to maintain some possession, you know. They haven't had very many opportunities at all.
There's an opportunity as McNally punches it away. And certainly, like any other sport, the less you have the ball, the less opportunities you have. And Piedmont will certainly want to make those adjustments between now and halftime, and certainly in the second 45. Now here's the fifth corner of the first half of the Hornets. Smith lines it up, sends it high again, near the goal line, punched away, and once again off a Lion out across the end line. So 3 kicks, 3 corners. Also, you saw Cassie Kirk come back in for the Lions, as well as Grace Milligan for Lynchburg for the first time. Smith again, curls it in, right back near the other corner, and fortunate for the Lions, there was no one there to play it for the Hornets. However, and looks like we're going to get a throw, and we're going to get a change. Sprinting on the field is Megan D for Lynchburg.
The clock is on. They must have stopped it after a goal. When the ball goes out next time, pause it, change it, and then push it.
Myers looks across it, misplayed off the leg of Caitlin Smith. And the Hornets will take their first corner of the half on this side of the field. 6 total corners taken so far.
So they must stop it after the goal. I told you wrong.
Nothing scored yet off these set pieces. Smith once again will boot it inside. Headed back out towards the 18. Santana there, sends it high. Knocked away by McNally, cleaned up by Grady. Well, they call her offsides. That's why you see the celebration turn into disappointment. They're calling it offsides. Offside, I should say. It's not American football. There's no S. So we'll look at it again. And hard to tell from that angle. Of course, we're not right down the line. But the alternate referee on the near side of the field had their flag up, and therefore the goal does not count.
That's still a really good opportunity for Lynchburg. I think that just from the angle that we saw, it did look like she was probably just offside. Yeah. But, I mean, she's doing exactly what every coach wants her to do. You know, we have somebody taking a shot from pretty far out, and she's following up for that exact reason. And if she waits just a hair longer, that's going to be a goal, and it stays.
Seems like a pretty good recipe right now for Lynchburg to just kind of hang back, kick it deep, and let somebody be there to clean up the garbage if it's laying inside the 6. I'm not sure if that's like a actual thing they want to, like a play they want to run, but it is working so far in terms of chances. And the only goal scored so far, thanks to Amanda Wigboldy from about 25 yards away. 5 total shots for the Hornets now. one for the Lions. Each keeper has been credited with a save. So Lynchburg has 2 shots on goal. And, of course, that one that got by. Good pressure by the Hornets defense. Now they got to battle the official in the middle as well. Wells just got that one away as she gets taken down. Good sportsmanship behind the play. Wells and Weinhardt recognizing that it was just a good, tough play made. And now Lynchburg will cross the field and go on a run here with 3:05 to go in the first half. Stick around at halftime. We'll come back in the booth with myself and Aaron. We will go over some of the important stats of the first half and also show you some highlights of the first 45 minutes of play. Still time to add some more to that list for our replay operator. One big one right now. Wigboldy's goal. Santana leaves it back. Crossing into Swisher. Here's Santana again. Near side for Myers. Gets around one defender, now 2, tripped up. And that is going to be the right call made. A free kick for Lynchburg on that foul that was committed by Hemperly. Taylor Smith takes corners. We'll see if she takes this free kick. You watch it again. Hemperly knew it right away. And this is where Lynchburg's had their best chances, from about 20 to 25 yards away from the goal mouth. Is it going to be Allen or Smith? Smith, line driver, squeaks by and is cleaned up, and this time it's Megan D. No denying this one, as D scores for the first time in 2021. Off the bench a few minutes later, this happens. Do you think that deflection may have affected the keeper's ability to stop that ball, Aaron? Because there was a deflection by that front wall.
There was. I think that it's hard to tell from here where it was going without the deflection. I think that she made a really good save off of that initial ball. And just unfortunately, defense didn't follow Lynchburg's attack in like they should have and help out their goalkeeper after that initial save.
No quit in the Lions as they try to answer back quickly. Now with under 60 seconds to play in the first half, the Hornets in good position to hold a 2-0 lead after 45 minutes of play. This is where they finished against the Wasps of Emory and Henry over the weekend. This past weekend on Saturday. In that game, they had 45 total shots, 23 in the first half. They didn't score until the second half. So already doing much better today with 6 total shots, 3 on goal, and 2 have gotten by the keeper. And the clock will wind down. Lynchburg will feel pretty good about their chances after 45 minutes of play. They lead it 2-0 thanks to goals from Amanda Wigboldy and Megan D. We'll step aside, come right back. Halftime stats and highlights on LHSN.
Everyone has a story. a triumph, a time they fell short, a gift, a light all their own. Every story has a beginning. For us, our stories began long before we got here, at the moment we discovered we had something to share with the world. But no matter where we've been, our journeys weave together at the University of Lynchburg. Since 1903, we've grown from a handful of students to a diverse, dynamic community of students, professors, staff, and alumni around the world. In a community that supports who we are and who we want to be, we're on a journey to find where our passions lead so we can lead others to find theirs. Together, we have more experience, we have more knowledge than we do alone. Eventually, our stories will lead us to a path all our own, and we will share our passions with the world. No matter the journey we choose, the University of Lynchburg is, and always will be, our home.
My name is Jen Hyde. I graduated in 2018 and I got my major in philosophy, political science, and I minored in human services. And career-wise, right now I work at a residential treatment center for juveniles with sexually reactive behaviors. I would say the biggest advantage is definitely that it is a small campus. You know, you get to have that one-on-one with your professors. They're willing to help you out. They're going to get to know you more than just a student that they're teaching. You know, they really invest into your lives. Definitely use every resource that you can kind of get at Lynchburg. There's tons of mentors within the professors, the faculty, the staff here, your peers that are here. You have so many options that you can take. There's so many classes, you know, even if it's not within your major, if there's a class you're interested in, take it. Kind of explore your options because Lynchburg does have such a wide variety of different things that you can do. You know, be involved, become a well-rounded individual because Lynchburg sets up the support to where you can do that here.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Welcome back to Schellenberger Field on the campus of University of Lynchburg. The Hornets lead the Lions 2-0 at halftime. And welcome back inside our new mobile unit for LHSN. I'm Joe Hutzler. She's Erin Farina. And in this first half, we saw what Lynchburg wanted to do. Not only did they want to get shots and chances like they did this past weekend, but they wanted to capitalize on them, and they certainly did that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they already had a lot better shooting day than their last game, and we saw a lot of people take a lot of dangerous shots, you know. I think that it was nice seeing several players take some shots from pretty far outside the 18, and obviously it worked out for them. Yeah,
no question about that, and we'll see some of the highlights in a moment. But I also want to talk about Piedmont real quick. Long trip to get here. The rain's coming down. It's a very abysmal type of feeling, and then things just aren't going well for you on the pitch. Still 45 minutes left. Did you see anything in that first half that made you think that they've got what it takes to at least tie this up?
I think that it was hard to tell. They just didn't have the ball very much, you know. I think that they came out looking to be aggressive, but then when Lynchburg maintained possession and was being aggressive in their attacking third, they packed it in, and I think that they're playing a little bit passive right now.
Well, I'm sorry. Did not mean to cut you off. Please finish.
You're
Please
fine.
finish.
You're fine. I think that traditionally they're usually a team that is more comfortable pressing, and so now that they're being pressed, I think that if they get back to what it looks like how they usually play, they could have an opportunity to make it a close game.
Well, those are some thoughts on what it looked like. Let's show you what it looked like on the stat sheet, and this pretty much illustrates all the points that Erin just made. Dominant on the Lynchburg side of things, shots on goal, corners as well. So they've had more chances. They've made the most of them. It's 2-0 here at halftime. We're going to step aside for a few more moments when we come back. First half highlights on LHSN.
Carrie Brewer became the 7th president of Lynchburg College in 1964. Only 15 years after his graduation in 1949. During those intervening years, he had earned a Ph.D. in public policy from Harvard, served as an aide to 2 major congressional committees, and was the director of emergency preparedness in the Kennedy administration. Returning to his alma mater, he hit the ground running. Dr. Brewer initiated a change in the college charter to allow students of all races to enroll. He cut the standard faculty teaching load by 20%. He improved faculty and staff salaries and increased the size of the faculty and the student body. He sought to raise the visibility of the college in Lynchburg as well as the larger community by offering graduate programs in education, business, and physics to meet identified needs in Central Virginia. An enthusiastic fan of LC sports, Dr. Brewer added administrative support to the college's athletic programs, resulting in the emergence of Lynchburg College as a national athletic power. During his presidency, Snyder Chapel, the courts, McWayne, Tate, and Montgomery residence halls, the Burton Student Center, Turner Gymnasium, Wakefield House, Foxfield, the Dillard Fine Arts Building, the Capron Library, and the residences on Faculty Drive were added to the college physical plan. Also, Memorial Gymnasium was transformed into Hall Campus Center. Carnegie Hall was converted into faculty offices, and the surviving World War II Quonset hut was remodeled into the psychology building. However, perhaps the greatest legacy left Lynchburg College by Carrie Brewer is the attitude embedded in his oft-repeated statement that a great college is always in the process of becoming. In the decade since he retired, Lynchburg College has become a university and has continued to grow and change, moving ever closer towards becoming the institution envisioned by a 36-year-old neophyte college president over half a century ago.
John Eccles joined the Lynchburg College community in 1986 as Director of Housing. As his famous beard grew, so too did his stature with the students he served on a daily basis. He seemed to be everywhere and rapidly became an integral part of campus life. He was asked to serve temporarily as Dean of Students in 1993 and soon earned the position on a permanent basis. In 2007, he became Vice President for Student Development, a position he held until his retirement in 2016. Simply put, John Eccles set the standard for student affairs professionals. He led the growth of Hornet Pride throughout the last 2 decades of his service through his direct and constant interaction with students, through his colorful sense of humor, through his visibility on campus, through the Red Chairs, the Red Chair blogs, and all the colorful emails to students. He created the annual Leadership Awards ceremony. In addition, John contributed his sense of humor, his calm demeanor, and his common sense approach to the leadership of the college at the highest levels of administration. He even donned a hard hat and work boots to supervise the construction of the Drysdale Student Center. His summer talks to new students, although wrapped in humor, were serious as he spoke his mantra, "Involvement is not an option, it is an expectation." He lived that ideal through his own involvement in student life, as the head cheerleader at Hornet Athletic Contests, and as a friendly and approachable face for generations of students. His legacy is a treasure for the students whose lives he impacted and a challenge for the entire university community to emulate.
A lot of people go to the universities to find something to be a part of while getting their education. And when you come here, Lynchburg is that something, it becomes a family. It's what this school's really good at doing.
And we're back on a drenched Schellenberger field. You wouldn't know it, though. Excellent job by the folks that brought that turf in a few years ago. It's 2-0 Lynchburg over Piedmont. Let's take a look at some of those first half highlights. Of course, there'll be 2 goals scattered throughout here. And again, we can't stress it enough, Aaron, just more chances on their offensive third.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Lynchburg's done a really good job of being really aggressive and dangerous in their offensive third. And being a team that, Piedmont being a team that they gain a lot of set pieces, like in their previous games. They've had 2 so far. They really need to capitalize on them if they're fortunate enough to get some in the second half.
There you saw Amanda Wigboldy's long goal. Here's one from eventually Megan D. Taylor Smith had the free kick. It was deflected, and then D cleans it up for a big goal to give Lynchburg some insurance here before they start the second half. We talked about Piedmont already playing 8 games this season. And, well, I had it pulled up. Let's see if I can pull it up again. Here we go. So after today, they will be at Southern Virginia. So that was the kind of the point of making this long trip, is you get 2 opponents in the same area. So they'll be in Buena Vista on Saturday, tomorrow that is, at 1 o'clock against the Knights of SVU. We'll actually have the Knights here for men's lacrosse at 3 o'clock tomorrow, by the way. Then they'll head back south and play nothing but USA South opponents the rest of the way. They host LaGrange on March 3rd at 2 o'clock, and then it'll be at Berea College, who is a newcomer to Division III recently, used to be Division II. That game is going to be in Kentucky on March 6th at 2 p.m. Well, while we have it, let's go to Lynchburg's next 3 opponents. Why not? Let's switch over the cameras or a wide shot or something like that. I'm throwing this at our director randomly, so we've got time to look at it. So there we go. Next 3 matches versus Guilford on Sunday here at 2 o'clock. Then they'll be at Bridgewater at 2 o'clock on the 7th before coming back home to take on the team that exited them from the ODAC tournament in 2019, the Yellow Jackets of Randolph-Macon, 7 p.m. here on Schellenberger Field. Well, we've taken care of all of the extras. Now it's time to get back to the action on the pitch. Both teams coming out after 15 minutes of rest. The Hornets did not take shelter. They stayed in the rain. The Lions did take a little bit of shelter, but you know what? No matter how much shelter you took, you're still wet. It's just, that's how it is right now. And it's how it's going to be all weekend. So get used to it. And especially if you're coming this weekend, please pack an umbrella, pack a poncho, pack a tarp, whatever you need to keep yourself dry. Or you can take the easy route, the dry, warm route, and just watch it from home on LHSN, because we got you covered. That one sounds pretty good. That option sounds pretty good.
If I weren't working the games this weekend, trust me, that's what I would be doing.
Amen. Even on campus, you'd be inside and like, man, it's a good thing I got this high-quality broadcast to watch. I forgot how much time goes with soccer. We've been inside with basketball. We've been, fast pace, and I don't have anything else to say until we get started. So it's just been really odd to hang out and wait. All right, so Mr. Official is ready to make the second half official, and we are ready to go. 45 minutes remaining in regulation. Each side switching ends of the pitch. Lynchburg looking to continue their dominance. Piedmont with a great set piece out of the halftime break. Great play call to give themselves an opportunity from the get-go. Obviously, you want to win, but I'm sure from the coaching staff perspective, you love to see the defense get a little bit more action, because certainly they're going to get into some opponents coming up. They're going to push them. Hyatt clears that one out, so the Lions will take control there. Lauder with the toss. Not a lot of help for Weinhardt. There's Emma Hyatt, senior from Woodbridge. Missing her line mate, Dana Seavey, also part of the senior class. Had to get surgery in the offseason, and so she is being the biggest cheerleader for her teammates. I guess they've got some decisions to make, too. With no NCAA tournament, there is an extra year of eligibility for these athletes. But they do have to have some type of class. So if you're not going to grad school or you're going somewhere else for grad school, could be a little bit tougher, as the Lions are insisting that was a handball against Alex Allen. That call is not made, but they do get a corner out of it. This is their third of the contest. just like you said, Aaron, opportunity. Here's a set piece. See if the Lions can pounce back. It's Lauder kicking it in. It's low, takes a skip. Newman's there for the Hornets. And the Lions will continue to pressure. Lauder this time sends it up high. Great opportunity here. Slow roller, then kicked out. Still there at the 18. Best chance for Piedmont so far tonight. And a good scoop by a recent addition between the pipes. Saw Katie Pearson, the freshman from Mechanicsville, getting her second appearance in as many games. She came in to play the second half against the Wasps after Laura Mason took control in the first 45 minutes of that one, and the same here tonight. Mason will leave with a save, and Pearson already has one. Lynchburg possession. Wells with a toss into Wigboldy, who has the game-winning goal right now as it stands. Good one touch, but the defense will get there first, and just a good way to gain about 50 yards. We're going to have Abby Little, freshman from Herndon, Virginia, tossing this one in. At the feet of Wigboldy. Fakes one way, brings it back the other. Santana. Wigboldy, good idea. Smith is there. Outside now for Newman. Victoria Newman one-on-one. Great defense to stymie the opportunity. There was a Anya Olsen, sophomore from San Diego, California. A place on my short list of places to visit someday. You know why?
Why?
So you don't know why?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Couple reasons. SeaWorld's there.
Okay.
So that'd be fun. And their fish tacos are supposed to be the best.
Now I have to go.
So that's just what I've been told. I'd love to find out for myself. I'm sure they have an In-N-Out there as well.
Which is always a must when you're in California.
Yeah. Someday, get out there and take a trip on Highway 1. Of course, what was it, 2 weeks ago, Highway 1 caved in one spot. So I'll wait a little bit longer before I take off.
You might want to postpone that trip just a hair.
I'll wait till June at least. Give them some time. We've got plenty of stuff going on here.
You'll be plenty busy.
Oh, yeah. No question. No question. Even with postponements the next 2 days on the Diamond, we've got women's basketball at 1 o'clock tomorrow, men's lacrosse here on Schellenberger Field at 3 p.m., and then back here again on Sunday at 2 for women's soccer and their first ODAC action of the season, taking on the Quakers of Guilford College. I like the fight from the Lions. Here they go again. They've got a little bit of help in the middle, but not enough. Newman connects with D'Amato. D'Amato had one of the 2 goals against Emory and Henry. And now that I say that, I realize that my previous statement was false about first ODAC game. Duh. First home ODAC game will be Sunday. Pearson playing way out, but no one really pressuring her too much, so can calmly send it to the other side of the pitch where Wells would take over. Now it's 5 in green. That's Hemperly. Right idea, just a little bit off on the execution. We're not even 10 minutes in yet, Aaron, but this Piedmont team looks different.
Yeah, absolutely. They must have had a lot of strategizing, talking going on at halftime, because they're already pressing a little bit more and being a bit more aggressive, which is exactly what I think that Lynchburg was expecting them to be like coming into this match.
We told you about the series between these two, meeting in the NCAA tournament twice, Lynchburg winning both, 1-0 and 2-1. So they've been close matches as far as the scoreboard is concerned both times. So don't count out Piedmont yet. Again, everything's set up pretty nicely in that moment. But not able to get past the back line of the Hornets. So Pearson sends it deep to Wigboldy. Good chip to the center. Alyssa Lauder breaks through. Right idea. Allen, though, stepping in front. That close from Andy Weinhardt. He was itching to get a touch on that ball. Instead, back here, it's Lynchburg pressuring now. Newman had it deflected away, so it'll be tossed in by D'Amato. Maybe not. Newman instead. And Newman loses it on this near side for the second time. Well, nobody wants it. Smith played it back. Here's Olsen. Now it's Hyatt working against Weinhardt near side. Just really smart play on the ball. Both players respecting the other space. Here's Santana. Hyatt trying to get it to Newman. Will go inside instead. And Taylor Smith will use the outside foot. Finding the freshman. Smith has someone open. Goes deep and connects. D'Amato lost it, though, on her own accord. I beg your pardon. I thought I was wrong on that. That was 19, Camille Waits. Good opportunity for D'Amato. 1-on-1 inside the 6. 2-on-1, and the Lions are able to handle that, at least for the time being. Newman, can she keep it? Eventually, it's just too much pressure from Hemperly and friends. And now they'll try it from the other side. Crosser at the 18. Smith knocks it down, looking for the shot, and the turf monster grabbed her left ankle and pulled her down. Smith again had a few options. Seemed to hesitate a bit on making that choice. And Wells is lucky she went down. That ball did not stay in play for the quick Kaylee King to take it to the other side. Drenched Coach McCormick and Rachel Hines. Just send it deep, see what happens. Allen and Weinhardt chasing after it. More friends for Allen. This one will roll back to Hyatt, and she'll be able to clear it out toward midfield. Smith gets big, takes possession, goes deep. Newman's there, and eventually kicked away. Excellent defense again from Alyssa Lotter. She's just a freshman, but she's been involved a lot tonight, and she's done pretty well. Olsen could not get it past Hyatt. And now Newman goes deep. Keeping it in play is Caitlin Smith. Olsen. And again, the Lions just not developing a rush before the ball was sent forward. Off the side of Pearson's foot. So definitely didn't get it where she wanted to. And now an opportunity for the Lions, but again, outnumbered on the rush. That was Cassie Kirk speeding up that sideline. And it will be a throw for Piedmont. And that one will glance off of Sophie Wells. So the Lions will have another corner. Just 2 in the first half. And now with their third of the second half. It's Weinhardt sending it high near the goal line. Punched away by Pearson. Got to be a frustrating moment for the Lions watching that, because it was a good ball, but there weren't a whole lot of green jerseys around.
Yeah, I think that Piedmont is doing a lot better job of maintaining a little bit more possession and getting forward, but they're not moving forward as a unit, you know? So when that offense is getting what looks like it could be an opportunity, they don't have enough numbers up to really capitalize.
They do continue to outpossess the Hornets here in the second half. And this looks like a goal kick for Pearson. A little over 29 minutes remaining in regulation. Joe Hutzler and Aaron Farina with you tonight from Schellenberger Field. A Friday night lights situation with the rain coming down, temperatures dipping below 30 degrees as we wrap up February this weekend. And we just get things started for our fall and spring sports. Lynchburg volleyball gets started tomorrow at Marymount. Good work by the feet of Alex Allen. Men's soccer for Lynchburg has already played 2 games, one that counted, as Kirk goes down hard, and there'll be a free kick here for the Lions. And Lynchburg field hockey starts next Friday, hosting Shenandoah, the team they defeated for their 20th ODAC championship in 2019. One more look at the foul, and it'll be our first look at a free kick from the field for the Lions. bit more spread out than Lynchburg's set piece was. And a low heater that goes wide from Caitlin Smith. Great speed on the outside with Newman. The ball just a bit too strong, though. That coming off the foot of Waits. Two freshmen trying to connect. And that chemistry will only build as the season goes along. And they will certainly look forward to a more traditional schedule in the fall of 2021. As will we. Once again, the Lions doing all the pressuring in this second half of play. Slick feet from Kaylee King. Had it, lost it, got it back, and now the Lions again will try to reset from the middle of the field. Hemperly chasing it down, and then Wells clears it out. Looks like Lynchburg's trying to make a change in their formation. As far as players are concerned, it is going to be Lindsey Grady. She forgot to take her penny off, and now she'll give it to Waits as she steps out. So Lindsey Grady back in, maybe able to get a goal that counts this time. Could have been 3-0 for Lynchburg, but Grady was deemed offside on a rebound opportunity. And so just goals from Wigboldy and D for Lynchburg. 4 goals total on the season so far after a 2-0 win over Emory and Henry this past weekend. Newman picks this one up. And that one deflected off Newman. She's had a much more difficult time on this side of the field than she did in the first half. Lions are enjoying going this way. As this one sent in and scores from long range on the angle. How did that one get through? Kaylee King doesn't care. It's 2-1. And she's got the first one of the night for the Lions. For her, it's her second of the 2021 season. Check it out one more time, far side of your screen. Absolute rocket from the sophomore out of Loganville, Georgia.
I really like that King went ahead and just took that shot. You know, they don't have very many shots, period, especially not shots on goal. And she was like, okay, like, let's go ahead and just put some pressure on. And it looked like it surprised a lot of people. I didn't think anybody thought she was going to try and make a move on that shot. And it almost looked like our Lynchburg's goalkeeper thought it was going out.
Yes, yeah. I don't know if she could judge the speed of that because it was flying. And even if she got a piece, may not have been able to stop it. King put all she had into it, and she makes it a 1-goal game. Now, with 25 minutes to go, plenty of time for Piedmont if they can continue to mount the pressure that they've done so far. Maybe they can tie it up. So Kaylee King makes it 2-1 for the Lions. Now they'll have the ball inside the box again. And Lynchburg is the one trying to make adjustments on the fly now. Things are not coming as easy to them as they were in the first 45. And each team going to make some changes. Maddie Myers forgot to take her sweats off. So eventually she will check in. Meanwhile, Coach McCormick and the Lions make a change as well. It looks like 25, Madison Golari. I beg your pardon. Gallarelli. I got it right in the first half. Don't laugh, Aaron. You're not saying it. Can't make fun of me.
We even practiced before
That's true. Yes, we did. And another quick substitution for Piedmont. Abby Judge, who started this game, is now back in. The Bellbrook, Ohio native. I don't know where that is, but it sounds pretty, doesn't it? Bellbrook.
It does. Sounds like a quaint little town.
Yeah. Of course, if I look it up, it might be just like right outside of Cleveland. It'll just be a big suburb or something. Couple throw-ins for Piedmont. And this one crosses the box, but no one there to pressure it, so Pearson happily takes that down. Lynchburg looking for their first test for McNally in the second half. They have not registered a shot here in the second half of play. Long ball. There it is. Kaylee King's got his run on it. Will she take a shot again? She'll try the low cross this time, and scooping it into her arms is Pearson. Right now, everything's working for the Lions. Tough shot for somebody on the bench. Took that deflection hard. And Lynchburg's not able to get a rhythm, Aaron. There's nothing right now they've been able to build off of.
Yeah, it seems like they started this second half with definitely not as much momentum as they had ending the first half. They came out a little bit slow, which, I mean, happens sometimes. I mean, they thought they had a pretty decent lead, and, I mean, 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
That's right. And right now it's 2-1 thanks to Kaylee King. And it's really interesting to hear you say about the momentum piece of it, not able to keep it in the second half because Lynchburg scored so late in the first half. It wasn't like they scored early and then it got slow and boring for them. D scoring with less than 2 minutes to go in play. You would think they'd be able to carry that through, but it all circles back to the youth of this team and just something they're going to have to get used to.
Absolutely, and they may have gotten a little bit too comfortable after scoring that second goal as well. And that also plays a role in how you come into the second half.
And possibly the way you were scoring as well, and how maybe exciting / easy it felt for those young players. Well, they're getting a different lesson here in the second half. All Lions who had just one shot in the first 45, now they have 4 total. They've put 3 on goal. Lynchburg has stopped 2. Maddie Myers doing what she can on the near side, 1-on-1, 13 on 13. Then she loses her step. Wigboldy sends it to Grady. Now out to Smith. And Smith will push it to the far side. Little goes grounder. And D'Amato not able to hold on to it. Little. Had it poked away. Lynchburg will take it. Right in front of what they call the donkey, which sadly has lost part of its legs this year. Had to make it shorter in an effort to let more folks in the stadium see the middle of the field. It's cuter now, right? It's more petite.
Sure, that's a great way of looking at it.
Grady's shot is just wide. She's got an opportunity again. This would have counted for sure. And we had a perfect angle at it. It just continued to slide wide right. Lindsey Grady, knowing how close it was. Check it out one more time. Oh. Just under the outstretched arms of McNally. And a few inches away from giving the Hornets a 2-goal advantage again. Instead, the Lions survived the first real chance for Lynchburg in the second half. And it remains 2-1. Goals from Wigboldy and D for the Hornets. And Kaylee King in this second half for Piedmont. Work it over here again. Maddie Myers has some room, cuts it back, leaves it for Santana. Santana, top of the frame. Now it's Newman with the left foot. That gets rejected. Hemperly was there again to play good defense. She's been a very good midfielder for this Lions team, and she did not start tonight. She did get the start in the second half, so she proved to Coach McCormick that she should be out there. And she continues to be a force in the middle. Picking this up is Ida Swisher, who checked in a few moments ago. Freshman out of Downingtown, Pennsylvania. A hotbed for Lynchburg recruits, mostly in lacrosse, but other sports as well. And this will be scooped up by Pearson, who got the second half start and has given up the first goal of the season for Lynchburg after picking up a win against Emory and Henry over the weekend. Now each team will make some changes on the pitch. Megan D is back in for Lynchburg. Looks like checking for Piedmont. We'll get the numbers as they play. Number 30's out there. That's Caitlin Smith. I beg your pardon. That is not Caitlin Smith. Maybe it's not 30. How about we go with 38? Haley Johnson. She's out there for the first time. Another freshman on the pitch tonight for these teams. Trying to get the experience early in the season. Of course, Piedmont's halfway through their season. They only have, looks like, if I remember correctly, about 5 or 6 games left after today. Lynchburg still has a good chunk to deal with. Their next one will be Sunday at 2 p.m. right here at Schellenberger Field, hallowed ground at University of Lynchburg, named after the legendary men's soccer coach Bill Schellenberger. Good pressure here from Myers, and this is deflected off the Lions. Came off of Lauder, so it's going to be a corner for the first time in the second half. Lynchburg had 7 in the first half. And Taylor Smith trots over to the flag for the first time in the second 45. Looking for insurance here. 13 minutes remaining in regulation. Smith lines up. Sends it in. To the back of the goal. It's through! I couldn't tell who touched it. The replay might show us. Looked like it went off the head, perhaps, of Emma Hyatt, the senior defenseman in there on the set piece. She's getting the most love at the moment. And it's not because she's a really nice person. I think it's because she scored. Check it out one more time. Hyatt up. And it definitely, she would be the last one to touch it if anybody from Lynchburg did. And they are crediting her with the goal. So Emma Hyatt, her first of her senior campaign, gives Lynchburg that insurance they were looking for. And for Piedmont, it's got to be a tough moment to take because you have been dominating the second half. Lynchburg gets their second best chance and then make it count.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially after having 7 corners in the first half, it's about time that they capitalized on a set piece. You know, those are really important opportunities, and I think that going forward this season, Lynchburg really needs to work hard on finishing strong off of those opportunities.
So crunch time now for the Lions. They must continue to pressure. McNally's probably going to play a little bit closer to midfield in the remaining 12 minutes. Offside was called by the official on your screen. Our director is a madman with the keys right now. D looking for Grady. Grady battling hard with Johnson. Grady taking down. And the whistle had already blown for a foul on Grady, so the Lions will take it. Free kick that will be booted away by Caitlin Smith. Looks like both teams prefer the last name Smith for their free kickers. That one got through as they had hoped, but Pearson holds on, which looks routine, but the mist that's falling, the rain that has continued to fall, still a little bit of a shaky moment with those, even with those gloves on, right?
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, it's really easy to let that slip through your hands.
And the pressure was there from the Lions, so they will want to continue to pressure the freshmen out of Mechanicsville as much as they can. Coach McCormick thanking the Lord that he brought his rain jacket. He's going to need it tomorrow as well. Possibly. It's weird in Buena Vista, the way the valley works. It could be sunny and 75 there tomorrow. But not here. Be a bit warmer, but still a great day to be a Duck tomorrow afternoon when we're outside for men's lacrosse against Southern Virginia. 3 o'clock start on the Lacrosse Sports Network. That link can be found, of course, at lynchburgsports.com, where every bit of Lynchburg Hornets information can be found, both past, present, and eventually the future. So bookmark it. Why not? That way you'll never forget. lynchburgsports.com. Lynchburg content with slowing things down, but not the Lions. They are on the run. More specifically, Haley Johnson who had it tackled away by Alex Allen, who is in some pain along that far sideline. This is women's soccer, folks. You don't get a lot of faking of injuries like you may on the other side of the gender wheel. So if Allen is severely hurt, and she did take a decent shot to the ankle. Coaching staff for Lynchburg not happy with the official who is coming to the center of the field. I think he might be talking to his other AR who would be in charge of that sideline to get his opinion. Allen is up and seemingly doing okay at the moment. And the official jogs away from his counterpart. And nothing coming from this except a throw in for the Hornets. Actually, they're going to come this side and just double check, make sure that the near side for us, AR, didn't see anything or did see something from his position. And now we'll give that information back to Coach Olson. And in the end, it is a free kick for the Hornets. No cards given, just some deliberation and some understanding. Does not mean the intensity won't continue to stay high as the Lions look for their first win ever against the Hornets of Lynchburg in their third match of this series, as D is called offside just barely. We got to make sure we give ourselves plenty of time on Sunday to put these crowd mics out. If you're not here, you're watching from home, you're missing some colorful environment here at Schellenberger Field. And they're not even on the track, by the way. They're
in the new building.
They're in the new building and on the balconies, and we can hear them. As Myers misses that one just a bit wide on the chip shot. Right idea for Maddie Myers. Each team making some changes. Amanda Wigboldy will come back into the midfield. She will relieve Emily Santana. Looks like Cassie Kirk is back in for Piedmont. You also have Sydney Krause on the field. Picked up by Gibb, who also just checked in. 7:13 remaining in regulation. The Hornets trying to go 2-0 on the season in their first non-conference tilt. First of what I believe is the only non-conference game on their schedule, from what I can remember. Of course, travel much more limited as far as the locations that you can travel to, and if schools are even accepting of other institutions that come from certain distances. That's why you don't see the likes of Maryville as you have in the past for Lynchburg. Don't have any weekend tournaments at Roanoke to play folks like Kalamazoo. It's affected some states, or excuse me, some schools in this state as well. State of Virginia. Some teams don't have CNU on the schedule like they have in the past, or Mary Washington. So the schedules are looking a bit different, but the main thing is they're getting filled. And even if you have to play the same team twice, The goal is to just play. And we're glad they are playing tonight. We've had a pretty good one. The score is 3-1, but thanks to a second half spurt from Piedmont, it got a little bit more exciting. And it remains with 5.5 to go. Lynchburg will make a change. Alyssa D'Amato is back in to relieve Lindsay Grady this time. And the Hornets will take another corner. Their second of the half, 9th of the match. Can't see Smith on the camera, so you have to wait for the ball to come into frame. And here it goes. Hit up by Myers, off the post and in! Surprised herself with that one, that no one from Piedmont went to try and bump that one away from the goal line. Myers, who just missed a few moments ago, inches to the right. This time, glances off the noggin, backside, and then off the post and across the line. 4 goals tonight, scored by 4 different Hornets, and all of them have been the first goal of the season for them as well. Did you like that one, Aaron? What are your thoughts? I want people to know that you're here. Didn't know what you thought about how unlikely that was.
It was. I think that it was really slow moving, you know?
Yeah.
It kind of just trickled in. I think nobody really knew what was going on.
Definitely slow motion is a great way to describe it. As the head official wants to stop the clock to talk to Coach McCormick of the Lions. And again, maybe if we were up higher, we might be able to see what he might be arguing, perhaps about that last goal, or maybe asking the local official where the best place is for dinner. I don't know. But either way, the conversation ends with a cold shoulder. Literally and figuratively. There's Emma Hyatt chasing it down and getting it away and actually causing a foul in the process. Hyatt, one of the 4 goal scorers tonight. D'Amato, pressure comes from Lauder. I think 13 in green has had a very good evening in the midfield for the Lions. Certainly some positives for them to take into their tilt tomorrow with SVU. But at the end of the day, Lynchburg, with lots of possession in the first half, took advantage, and then little possession in the second half, but still took advantage.
Yeah, I mean, the opportunities that they are getting, it's obvious that they're finishing, and they're at least like putting some pressure on.
And they'll stop the clock for substitutions. So we've got 2. Well, he put his hands up to stop it. Now it's stopped. 2:41. And we'll get some fresh faces for the Hornets in these last few minutes. Grace Milligan is back on the pitch. We also see Sophie Walsh in the midfield area. I think Katie Papalardo is also on the other side of the field. It's just a guess. There's Jessie Lakowitz. Senior out of Roanoke, Virginia. I cannot believe she's a senior already. Goodness gracious. I'm getting old, Aaron. Does not feel that way. But I guess she came in with CV and Hyatt. Here comes Myers in again. Right idea, looking for the chip. And it rolls across the end line for a goal kick. 1:45 to go. All elementary from Lynchburg. Hornets on their way to their second win of the season in as many games, and their third win over Piedmont in this series. Right now, the Hornets with 11 total shots. Piedmont with 4 total. Lynchburg has a save apiece for Pearson and Mason, who have split time in between the pipes. Miranda McNally has a save for Piedmont. So almost half of Lynchburg's total shots have been on target. Maybe another one coming here. D'Amato with a cross. Kept it in with the head. And so waiting to see if it'll roll out. It will not, so she will have to play it in the corner. Again, a reminder, our next broadcast is tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m. indoors for Lynchburg women's basketball for a rare non-conference game against the Generals of Washington and Lee, before we come back outside for men's lacrosse against SVU at 3 p.m. And then for the women's soccer program, they will be back in action in the daytime, 2 o'clock on Sunday against the Quakers of Guilford College. The Hive has spoken, and the Hornets take down the Lions 4-1 tonight from a rainy Schellenberger field, and they made it pour with the goals this evening. Come on, give me some credit. That was pretty good. Come on, don't just look at me and smile. Let the people know you enjoyed it.
It was a pretty good time.
Did you enjoy the game tonight? Did you like what you saw from Lynchburg? Because you got a chance, again, to talk to the staff, so you knew what they wanted to see out of their team. Weathered a little bit of a storm there, but they got the win they wanted.
No, yeah, actually, I think that the things that they struggled with in their game against Emory and Henry, we definitely saw that they were putting more shots on frame. They were obviously finishing more shots, much better goal score percentage than their last game. And I think energy-wise and also possession-wise, we saw that they took a dip for a majority of the second half. So I think that they're going to want to clean that up before their next game against Guilford. But all in all, it was a good win, and they definitely improved on the things that they wanted to from their last game.
No doubt about it. Well, we'll leave you with some highlights of this one tonight as Piedmont gears up for the Knights tomorrow in Buena Vista. The Hornets await the Quakers on Sunday at 2 p.m. We are back on the air tomorrow indoors for women's basketball. For the entire LHSN crew, we leave you tonight with a 4-1 victory for Lynchburg. I'm Joe Hutchler reminding you it's a great day to be a Hornets, and we are one nation.